Aloha, mabuhay, everybody out there in the interwebs. It's Ray from the Bay, going to show you how to smoke a rack of pork. Go to sugarrays.com for more recipes and details. Alright, everybody out in the interwebs, today what we're going to do is pork rack loin on the Traeger. So what are we going to try and do here? What we're going to try and do is remove any of the fat, alright? And we're going to try and have it we're going to have all the meat fully exposed, okay? So the easiest way for me to really do that is to take off some of the bigger parts here, right? So these parts here. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I like to start off small side. You got to have a sharp knife, okay? And I just like to pull. I just like to pull, and it's coming right out, okay? Very light touch, okay? Very light touch. And it's easy as that. So I'll take that one down. Take this. Take it. It's even pulling off. You see that? That's nice and clean, okay? And you know, yeah, you're gonna end up taking some of the meat off, right? But just use this process of lifting it up and cutting in between the fat and the meat, you know. And you'll get the practice of it. It'll probably just take you one of these cuts to learn how to do it and feel very comfortable. Don't worry about how much meat you're cutting off. In the beginning, I was worried about that. See this right now? I'm not even getting to the skin. This is just really fat. Okay? Hopefully you're getting some of that angle though. Watch your fingers, right? Taking it down, taking it down. And the main reason why you're doing this, right, is because if you haven't noticed, pork fat, it can get really, you know, you can catch a grill on fire, right? That's number one. And then what's the use of having all that fat and not having your meat charred, you know? So I'm going for all different angles, right? All different angles. If my knife was not sharp, it wouldn't be this easy. Just remember that, right? It's worth getting that sharpener, going right under that fat right there, okay? It's worth getting that sharpener to my hand right in front of it. Sorry about that. It's worth getting that sharpener to make sure your knife is sharp. Okay. All right, I'll show you what this cut is over here, but this is what I'm doing, just trimming them off, and I really am trying to get straight to the meat because I'm putting that apple rub on, okay? I'm not going to use any binder like olive oil, not like because I don't need to. I think it's always good with that, but I'm trying to use my burnt ends recipe, right? You can start seeing silver skin here, okay? So if I want, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right underneath there. Go one side here. Again, I'm trying to get all red, all of the meat. No white, no white. I want that rub to be right on the meat. Okay, silver skin, right underneath. That might be all the way through. Let me go this way first. Okay. Then let me go here. Now, what is silver skin? If you haven't seen it before, that's kind of like the really hard part. Really hard, I'm going to say it, hard to chew, you know? Highly unhealthy too, you know? I always trim it off, so it's not going to be an issue for me. Okay. So as you see, I'm going through this. Some parts I'm going to go right in, okay? Was this frozen when I got it? No, it was not frozen. It was not a frozen piece of meat. It was a refrigerated piece of meat. And then I went ahead and let it sit on the counter, let it cool down a little bit. That may or may not, you know, depending on how you want to butcher your meat, that may or may not be the style you want. You might want it rough. Rough, when I say rough. You might want it a little bit more frozen on the frozen side so you can cut a little bit more to the side. But I like this technique what I'm doing right now, which is pulling it, and that wouldn't happen if it was frozen. All right? So I think you can get what I'm saying. I'll fast forward it. Oops, that was a little too much. I'll fast forward it to, that was a little too much right there. Watch out. Oh man, I messed that one up a little bit. That's a good piece too. Okay. All right, so this is about, let's say 20 minutes later, okay? 20 minutes later, we have all that fat is gone, right? So let me just show you, not to gross anyone out, but this is how much fat I took away from that. Okay? That's how much fat, and a little bit of meat there, and I might carve that up to, you know, make a little bit of a burnt end or something like that. But as you can tell, it is, all that fat is usually, it's all gone, right? So now I'm gonna put my dry rub on and just start to take my apple dry rub, okay? And get it on here. And I'm just gonna liberally put it on here. Okay? Apple dry rub. There's Chipotle apple dry rub, there's sassy apple dry rub. You know, I'm just putting it on, putting it on. The sides I'm gonna go use with that extra stuff on the side. Okay? Just getting a nice thick layer. If anything, it'll stick to. Nice thick layer. Don't know if you know this, but pork and apple, man. Pork and apple is always the best. Pork and apple. There's the first layer. Get that on there. Going for the next. You know, I want to get that nice crust on here. And then I'll probably cap these bones with some foil, okay? Just so they won't burn out for presentation later. And then you'll cut there, okay? All right. All right, and you see it's on this grate, okay? So, you see why I love to use the grate. Number one is do the stuff like this, get that stuff on the ends. Get stuff on the ends, right? Back cap, use it all. Use it all. All right. As you can tell right now. All right, so you saw how I prepped the meat. You saw how I went ahead and put the dry rub on now. And I was talking about how I was going to go ahead and set up this staging area, or set up how I'm going to set up in the smoker, because I know that when I do pork belly burnt ends, which does have a lot of fat, which I cut off already, that it's got all that fat, and I don't want that in my drip pan, right? So I'm going to do this setup, which I'm going to show you right now, okay? Which is, I got this foil tin, and I got my rack. I'm going to put it right on top of the rack, right? Because I'm smoking it. So if I'm smoking it, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if it's right on the grill. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so here we go. The pork is about 1:15. It's been probably about an hour and a half, right? So let's go ahead and mix it up. I'm going to do a half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of a nice sauce that I like. This one happens to be from Visatuli. I know it's a winery, right? If you know what that is. It's a Visatuli. It's a Chipotle sauce, so I got a little bit of bite to it. And I'm going to probably put about a quarter cup of honey. Quarter cup of honey. Okay, and this is going to be, we're going to put on the outside. All right, let's go put that in there. Start stirring it up. Yes, it's thick. Right? Yes, it's very thick. Yes, it's very thick. All right, here we go. We're actually at 2 hours into the cook. I started at 6:30 p.m. and now it's 8:30 p.m. and we're at 120 degrees in the rib, right? Or in the pork rack. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and check it out. Again, it's 120 degrees. I got the RecTeq on right now at 500 degrees. And I'm gonna move this setup to here, okay? So the couple things that we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take my system out. I'm gonna go ahead and put it into, then I'm gonna go ahead and move that foil pan. I'm gonna put it in there so it catches the drippings. The drippings, just so you know, there is no dripping tray in the RecTeq, right? The bullseye. There is on a Traeger, and I already tried to protect it, right? Because again, pork grease catches on fire. So here we go. Looking good. Looking very, very good. Okay. Take this bad boy. it over. Take this pan. Get over. I'm gonna let that pan sit there. I mixed up the barbecue sauce, right? For cleaning purposes, I'm trying to make it easier for myself. I got foil on the bottom of this, just a tip and trick, right? It is a very sticky sauce. I'm just gonna put it right over. Save a little bit, okay? Just get it right on there. You see how it's like molasses? See how it's like molasses? Okay, take it in there. At this point, I could put foil. On these bone tips because it's going to go into 500 degrees. All right, it's going to go into 500 degrees. But at the end of the day, look at the bottom. Looks like I shouldn't have done it. Should have done the top first, right? At the end of the day, I'll just put the sauce on there. At the end of the day, it's not going to be for show, is what I was going to say, right? So just get it on there, nice and thick. Again, it's like molasses. It's kind of splattering everywhere, so watch out for that. It is thick. It is thick. Get a nice thick a nice thick layer on there. Because, you know, a lot of your flavor, this is where it's going to come from. This is where a lot of your flavor is going to come from. Okay? Not so bad, not so bad. Get the rest of it on there. Maybe broil it, save it for later or something, you know, when you reheat it. I got a little bit left. Like I said, maybe I'll save it for reheating when you reheat it. Hope you're getting the gist of what I'm trying to do here. Okay. All right, here we go. Getting ready to put this nice pork onto this. See that? All right. We're done. You know, 145-ish. I think it looks freaking fabulous. I think it looks freaking crazy. It's what it smells freaking outstanding. I'm saying freaking because I want to make it PG, but it really does smell outstanding. So let's go turn this off. I think everything I showed you is useful. There you go. And I'm going to gently get it on this foil because we're going to go and wrap it. We're going to wrap it. And I can tell you it smells so good. And when I say wrap it, I'm just going to go ahead and just slightly cover it. You know what I mean? Slightly. I don't want to ruin the crust we got on there. It's called tenting. You know? So the juices can flow back, right? When you barbecue, when you heat something, muscles get tight. And this is when they say let it rest, the muscles are relaxing back and the juices are flowing back in the muscles. That's why you never really want to cut your meat right away. That is like the gold. I mean, outside of, depending if you're smoking or grilling room temp, these are, you know, if you watch my videos, you know this, but this is one of the most important pieces is that, again, let it rest. All right, here we go. 15-minute resting. We're going to open it up. Should we fill the juices, which it is. Man, it smells good. It looks good. I can't turn it too much because of the juices. Oh, man, so it's on the other side here. So now let me go ahead and transport it to the cutting board without spilling too much of them juices. Oh, that's good. See that? Oh. All right, let me go move it over there. Oh man, that's what you want, man. That is definitely what you want. Let me get my carving knife. And I'm gonna go move over to this second one here. Okay, wrong angle. Take it to that side. It's okay. We'll move it over there. All right. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh man, I'm not even saying wow because it's just, it looks good. Alexa, timer off. Yes, I use Alexa. So you got the ring, a nice ring on there. So I'm gonna try and slice it up with that ring. Now. Just the apple. Got a nice crunch to it. Let's have a bite to it because that's chipotle. Smells so good. I will document this. So you can repeat it. No.